Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome back. It is me, BrittReacts, and today we're going to react to Josh Johnson asks black voters, do we with Trump from The Daily Show. Is he the new host of The Daily Show? Huh. All right, let's find out.
What up, world? It's Josh Johnson, full-time Daily Show correspondent, and full-time black guy. But more than that, I'm also a part-time voter.
I could tell.
Now, black voters have been the backbone of electing Democratic presidents since Bill Clinton went on Arsenio. In fact, 91% of black voters voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016, and 92% voted for Joe Biden last election.
Huh.
So why does this year feel
different?
New polling shows.
Wow. First of all, he just hit us with like funny and facts all at one. Like the part-time voter thing was hilarious. I didn't know these staggering numbers, but it's not hard to believe for me. I too am full-time black, and you know, I see it all, I hear it all, I read it all, and I have my thoughts and opinions. Y'all know I don't get too deep in what I personally, believe and who I vote for and stuff, because I'm just not here to be divisive. I am open to all opinions, and you guys educate me a ton here. And so I just hope this is a safe space for everyone who votes however they want, believes whatever they want. You know what I mean? I'm a Christian woman, but I don't think I know it all, and I don't think I have all the answers, and I didn't go to seminary school, and I am not a theologian, and I don't pretend to be. So, but that was super interesting to read. I do, like I said, I see it all, and I have personally can tell you that within the things that I follow on social media have too seen an increase in the black community supporting Donald Trump. And I think that there are several reasons why that's happening. But I'm interested to find out what they have to say.
So why does this year feel different?
New polling shows 23% support among black voters for former President Trump. That's up 19 points since the 2020 election.
Contrary to popular belief, not all black people know each other. So in order to find out how all black people felt about Trump, I got 6 from the tri-state area to ask, do we with Trump?
Okay, so who will you be voting for in 2024? Daryl?
Do I have to say his name? I don't want to, but more than likely it's going to be Trump.
Yeah, unbelievable. Just to clarify, the do we F with Trump is just a saying predominantly in the black community. So many people like to come back and be like, white people say it too, German people say it too, Catholics say it too. And it's like, all right, but predominantly in my life, I've only ever heard black people say the term with, I F with. And that is just saying like, I really am on the side of, I really agree with, I really bang with, I really relate to, right? And so in this situation, he is asking black voters, do they like Trump? Will they vote for Trump? It's very simple. It's just slang. It's just slang, guys.
Okay, so who will you be voting for in 2024? Daryl?
Do I have to say his name? I don't want to, but more than likely it's going to be Trump.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
Who are you going to be voting for?
Biden.
And then Victor?
I'm with her.
Oh, Biden, okay.
Trump.
Eric Trump? Biden. Biden?
Trump.
Okay, we're an even split.
That's crazy.
Which
these are actors, though, right?
I didn't see that coming.
I can't tell if these are actors or not.
Do you think there's going to be a big shift, any sort of change?
I think it's going to be a big shift.
Me too.
Big shift?
Yes. Big
Really? Okay.
For me, I've always been a Democrat, and it's like...
Okay, so if I feel like, they said this was uploaded a month ago, and the whole Biden passing the baton over to Kamala feels like it was longer than a month ago, but I'm sure this was filmed obviously more than a month ago. Things have to be filmed and put into production and then scheduled. So this is interesting because I wonder, have they done a version of this now with how people feel with Trump versus Kamala? Because I have been hearing the numbers are, for your girl, that's what I've been hearing. Again, I'm not saying that I am I didn't fact check that. I am a fact checker, but I'm just saying what I heard, because literally on the way to Target this morning, I heard it on the radio. DL Hughley was talking about how her numbers are increasing more and more and more. But I'm interested to know how different this conversation would be now.
Yes.
Really? Okay.
For me, I've always been a Democrat, and it's like, for the most part with the Democratic Party, they always make a bunch of promises that they can't deliver.
You know, they use the issues of the African American community as a soapbox to stand on and make promises, you know, just to get us to come out and vote. And then once we vote and everyone's in place, it's like, well, what happened?
Some call that pandering.
And vote. And then once we vote and everyone's in place, it's like, well, what happened?
Would you say it's anything like somebody's in your DM and they're really laying it down to take you over here? Girl, I'll take you to the top. You know what I mean? And then you finally go on the date and it's Burger King.
Or you've been catfished.
You've been catfished.
If the polls are right and Trump is going up with black voters, what
changed? This is a great question.
I wish I knew. I am not a huge fan of Trump. He don't respect the black person.
And Biden does? Has Biden issued an apology for the things that he's been caught saying?
He said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black.
You're not black.
What is that?
They have both said things that were questionable and unsavory. But when you start looking at facts,
they have both said things that are that was so perfectly phrased. You know what I don't want anybody to write in my comments? They were so well spoken. I don't want to hear that. Because you know what? Black people are well spoken. Okay? Like I don't want to hear that. I love what she just said. They both have said offensive, unsavory things. And I think that goes for politicians across the board. Clearly there's an emergency outside my window. Because why? Moment of silence. And now my husband's phone is ringing. I'm just, you know, guys. But the baby is not crying. So let's at least be thankful for that. I think so far there are so many valid points, and what you don't see is the well, I don't want to say again, I'm not trying to be divisive. The people who are verbally expressing their disdain for Trump are not arguing with these people. And I think a lot of times that's, you know, fair enough to say, is that no one's really arguing the rights or the wrongs. People just have their opinion, and they're like 10 toes down in that opinion. I'm really starting to believe that these are not actors.
Said things that were questionable and unsavory.
Questionable was the word she used.
But when you start looking at facts, it's like, Biden, you done dropped the ball, brother.
Okay, so
she
some
called
black
him
voters
brother.
feel let down by Democrats, but I wasn't sure if they knew about how Trump likened himself to black Americans. So I showed them some footage of Trump at the Black Conservative Federation Gala.
I'm being indicted for you, the black population.
I want to play a little game, all right? Now the game
What's that mean?
is going to be either fist or finger, right? If you like what's happening, you're going to put up your black fist. Now, if you don't like what's happening, there's a finger. Y'all ready?
This is great. This should be like real political
These lights are so
news.
bright in my eyes that I can't see too many people out there. But I can only see the black ones. I can't see any white ones. You see? That's how far I've come.
I recall. It's unsavory. It's unsavory. It is. But also just so ridiculous, because what? You know what I think? This is for both sides. People that are diehard one way or the other, how do they excuse the type of unsavory things that come out of both of their mouths? Like, how do we just completely wash over them? And like, what is it? What do you say to that as someone who's just so diehard for Trump that to you he does and says no wrong? How do you excuse that as a non-offensive, like, sentence? It just was, I don't even think it was offensive. I just think it was weird. It was just like, huh? I mean, I guess I get it. Black people are darker. And so, oh, this is funny.
I can't see too many people out there. But I can only see the black ones. I can't see any white ones. You see?
Her eyes got
That's
so
how far
big.
I've come. That's how far I've come.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you have a sense of humor, you found it funny.
Okay. I'll play the next clip for you real quick.
Black conservatives understand better than most that some of the greatest evils in our nation's history have come from corrupt systems that try to target and subjugate others. You understand that. I think that's why.
I think a part of the issue here is that the message is right, but for some people, the messenger is wrong, because what he's talking about is black on black crime, which we know is a thing. White on white crime is a thing. Man on woman crime is a thing. But I think because he's not delivering it in a savory way, or it's not coming from another black person, it is, where everyone's clutching their pearls. And so for someone like, I think it says Simone in the middle, who has made up her mind that she doesn't like Donald Trump, or someone like Daryl, who he doesn't seem to have made up his mind that he doesn't like Biden, but he has made up his mind that he's going to vote for Trump. Your ears, what you compute and receive in your brain is biased because you like or dislike somebody, right? Right? I'm just saying. Or you're like, I agree with her. She's like the dark humor, how I found the humor in that. I'm like, well, I mean, I guess, we are darker. Like if you have a different sense of humor, you might, certain things may be palatable to you that aren't palatable to other people, or you can just like shrug something off and look at the big picture, which is politics, and not, did he offend me because I'm a certain skin color? Do you know what I'm saying? So that I feel like it can all be so subjective to the who's, the what's, the whens, the where's, the how's, the circumstances, and so on and so forth.
Corrupt systems that try to target and subjugate others. You understand that. I think that's why the black people are so much.
And I'm sorry, I misspoke. He wasn't talking about black on black crime. I think he's talking about the systematic injustices that black people have overwhelmingly been dealt with and overcome. And so in this reference, and I think a lot of things with Trump also is context. I think a lot of times his sound bites are so divisive, but the context around it can maybe soften it. And a lot of times we don't get that. But in this case, I believe because again, I'm not 100% sure this is a sound bite. He is likening himself to the black community because he feels like all of his indictments are injustices. So, and that, I think that's why Daryl's shaking his head, because he's agreeing. But again, you either really agree or you really don't agree. There's no gray area here.
On my side now, because they see what's happening to me happens to them.
He had me at the first question. I mean, the first stick.
He messed up.
And then he messed up at the end.
So, okay, can we get our signs up? So,
the one guy is back and forth.
Okay, let's go on to the next clip real quick.
But I got indicted for nothing, for something that is nothing. And a lot of people said that that's why the black people like me, because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against. And they actually viewed me as I'm being discriminated against. It's been pretty amazing.
I mean, he laughed. You know what I mean? Meaning, I don't think that he believes he's being discriminated against, like racially. I think he did voice that he thinks he was being indicted for nothing. But he laughed in the way of like, the black community at least has made him feel, I don't know, I don't speak for the whole black community, or is the whole black community telling him that they think he, relates because he's wrongfully indicted? I don't know, but the fact that he even chuckled lets you know that he doesn't like identify as discriminated against. I think he just feels like I think he uses the phrase witch hunt, right? Often, like he's just being targeted. I love this conversation. This is great.
Because I'm being discriminated against. It's been pretty amazing.
All right, so kind of still along the same party
Still
line.
kind of?
Now, do you think Trump is being discriminated against?
Not at all. It's not one side. It's the legal system. No matter who you are, if you do these things, you get charged for it.
Not true.
That's it.
There
Not
are
true.
two systems of justice.
Not true. Not true. No matter who you are. Tax bracket matters. Gender matters, race matters, geographical, like judge matters, who your judge is, all those things matter. Evidence, prosecution, all of those things matter.
These things, you get charged for it. That's it.
There are two systems of justice. We cannot get away with the same thing white folks get away with.
But with this different sort of accountability system, does it feel like Trump is bad at being white? That was 91?
I noticed how
Since
when I was
91.
incarcerated, right? How the white incarcerated people seem to be more angrier than the black incarcerated people. Trump is like the same thought pattern. This ain't supposed to happen to me. I'm not supposed to be indicted. People are not supposed to tell me I committed a crime because I am privileged.
Damn.
Oh,
I had no idea the appeal process for incarcerated white people was gaslighting. But Trump is fighting close to 100 felony charges. How much of a criminal is too much of a criminal?
If more charges get racked up, maybe things that start to become a bit more egregious, is that going to start to weigh on whether or not you're going to change your vote?
No, you pay attention, you listen to the facts, not the fluff, and then you actually have to start doing some research to make sure that what's being...
She's a lawyer. Listen to the facts, not the fluff. In my personal opinion, what I have seen is that Trump's legal woes have not burdened him at all as far as people choosing to not want to vote for him because of his legal issues. I think there are other factors at hand for both candidates, and now I guess all three, because at this point they were talking about Biden, but now we're talking about someone different. But yeah, I mean, here's my one thing. I think back to my childhood because I came up in the era of when Donald Trump was like welcomed in the black community. He was in rap music videos. He was in he was really a part of so many like black cultural movements in music, especially. And so, things change, and social media, I think, adds to it. But I think that's an interesting thing, that, why was he acceptable then? Was he a different person then? Maybe we were all different people decades ago. I'm just wondering. I'm just talking out loud because you guys allow me the safe space to do that. But yeah, I mean, this lady right here seems to be extremely educated in like her stuff. Like she is like, I'm not worried about all that. Where is the facts?
The facts, not the fluff. And then you actually have to start doing some research to make sure that what's being presented to you
I think that's true for both sides.
Yes. Okay. And it takes some digging.
Okay, so if you dug and you did your research and you found out what Josh just said was true, that's where your vote?
Probably not.
I definitely, did not sit down with this panel to change any minds, and I clearly have not.
So yeah, I guess some black folks do with Trump. But was there anything I could get this panel to agree on?
Can we keep these? These are so useful in everyday life.
I want to set. That is a great segment that I think is necessary in the world. It's informative, it's funny, it's light, but it also talks about real big issues. It's educational. Like, I think that was a great segment. It was a great opportunity to like talk through some things. Wow, I want to see more. What else does he have? Josh Johnson is great. I feel like he's like a real journalist, but a comedian. I don't know. All right, go and have the day you deserve, folks. Be kind. You know my rule. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but kindness is mandatory. Go and have the day you deserve. Bye.